Hello everyone, my dear students, dear friends. We continue object-oriented programming with C++ course. Today is the next topic, static members. Please share the videos, give me your comments, likes. It is going to help to promote the video. Static members of the class can be both. You may have data members as static, you may have member functions as static, and they kind of breaking object-oriented programming rules. What I mean is static members don't need instantiation. They exist always. In order to access to static members, you don't have to have an object. You may use just the name of the class. They shared. Static members shared by all the objects. Static member functions don't receive the current object address. You cannot use inside static member functions keyword this. So what's the relationship between static and non-static, let's say normal members? Any normal, let's say non-static functions, of course, can access static members, no problem. But the other way around is not true. I cannot, inside, let's say, static function, access normal or non-static members. So what I did in my rectangle class, I declared 4 static data members because I wanted to make my class more robust, more reliable. The console area is limited. If my width and height too big, of course I'm going to break my lines. My rectangle is going to be distorted. Also, I wanted to have at least one character inside each rectangle. So I don't want to have rectangles less than 3. So by declaring 4 static members, width minimum, width maximum, height minimum, height maximum, I set up limits for my rectangles, and now I can be sure the draw function won't have problems. So my horizontal size would be no more than 40. My vertical size would be no more than 15. Of course, console window capacity can be different on different, let's say, well, you can change it, technically speaking, but always horizontal dimension of the console is bigger than vertical, so that's why I set up maximum as 40, the width, and maximum for the height as 15. Also, I made my static members as constants, and that's why I capitalized them. They cannot be changed. And line 20 is a static member function help. Help going to just tell me basic information about rectangle class, not about any rectangle objects, any particular rectangle object, just generic information about rectangle class. Now, let's move on to the implementation of my class. I still have 2 constructors. One constructor is default. Default constructor doesn't have parameters. And second constructor now is not only initiating data members, it is validating parameters. So you cannot, for example, create rectangle with negative dimensions. You cannot create less than 3 width or bigger than maximum width. Everything now is validated, and if the number is wrong, I fix it. And now I can be sure the width, the height is valid. I don't validate outline character, so it can be any character. Also now, the function grow checking, if it's possible to grow, so I shouldn't go over my limits. So if it's not possible to grow, then width still the same, height still the same shrink. Is it possible to get rectangle smaller? If it is, I do so. If it's not, I just ignore the increment statement. Draw function is still the same, no changes. But look, this is a static member function. What it does, it prints just help information about my class. By the way, you cannot use inside static functions this pointer, not allowed. So my static function print a message, and also look, inside static function I may access static members. Yes, it is allowed, but of course I cannot access non-static members. That's it. So draw top, draw middle, draw bottom, technical function, no changes, still the same. And now let's change our perspective. Remember, when you learning OOP, you have to always understand where you are. Are you a developer? That's one way of thinking. Or you are a user. That's a completely different story. So now I moved myself to a class user position, and I'm trying to access static members. You see lines 7 to 10. I don't need objects. I don't need instantiation. I can access them right away just through the class name. I call static member function line 11. Again, no need to have an object. Then I instantiate rectangle, a big one. Then I instantiated a second rectangle, small one. Default constructor is 3 by 3. And I try to draw, grow, and draw the first one, the big one. And I'm trying to draw, shrink, and to draw again the small one. Let's take a look what's gonna happen. So I'm going to compile my project. Switch wall quite useful because it'll show us warnings, not only error messages, but warnings, potential errors. And let's run it. Let's see what happens. And here we are. First of all, I see my static members, they are printed because they public. You still can apply to static member public or private access modifiers. Then I call help. Help prints the message. Help static function can access static members. You see that. And then I instantiate a big rectangle. I grow. I show it again. Then I instantiate a small rectangle. I'm trying to shrink it, but it doesn't work. So my class is now more robust, more reliable. It's not easy to break. And if I see it's already minimum, I cannot shrink it anymore because I need at least one character inside any rectangle. Later on, I will implement new type of rectangles with the fill. So that's quite important lesson, static members. Again, we do use in C++ to illustrate OOP concepts, but they are universal. If you understand the concepts, it is very easy for you to grasp OOP in Java, in Swift, in Kotlin, in JavaScript. The ideas are still the same. Thank you for watching. All the best. And see you soon, guys. Next lesson going to be published probably tomorrow. Bye-bye.